Hello, Tom. Thanks for being here today. I understand you have an update on your Schrodinger's cat experiment.
I do have an update, and I have this update because Tim Martins, a friend of mine, lives in Germany. Matter of fact, he was the guy who kind of was the leader of the translation group that translated My Big Toe from English into German. But anyway, he listened to that talk that you and I did on Schrodinger's cat that's up in the Science Trilogy, and he had a question about it. That's something that didn't quite make sense to him, and he explained it to me. It didn't make sense to me either. So I have a little update for that. He was quite right. It's a detail that I suspect 99% of the people did not notice. Well, I was one of those. I did not notice it, and he caught it, and he is absolutely right. Here's the issue, and that is that I talked about you had these cats, right, in boxes, and you had a radioactive element in there, and there was a Geiger counter, a thing that creates electrical signal when it's hit by a particle from the radioactive output. Radioactive substances throw out particles. And when one of those particles hits this thing, then it creates an electric signal, and that electric signal could do all kinds of things. Now, with Schrödinger, that electric signal emptied poison into the cat and killed the cat. But it could just as easily have, say, that electrical signal could puncture a big balloon full of red paint, and it could spread red paint all over the inside of the cat box. And now no animals would be hurt in this experiment, and everybody could talk about Schrodinger's cat without feeling sorry for the cats, and it would work the same way. Now, what I said was that when the experimenter makes the measurement, in other words, opens the door to see the state of the cat inside, that then the system does the calculation, decides whether the cat should be dead or alive, and that's what you get. Okay, now that is accurate if we were talking about the balloon full of red paint rather than a cat. Okay, that would be how it would work. But because we have a cat in there, Tim told me, we have a consciousness in there, and that consciousness has to be getting a data stream. And let's say just every 100th of a second, the cat gets a data stream update about his environment, because the cat's not perfectly still. The cat's looking around at different things and, licking its paws and doing whatever cats do. So it has a data stream coming to it all the time, every 100th of a second, say, just make up a delta T. That's feeding data to that cat, and it's getting data, it's getting data, it's getting data until that particle hits that sensor and bang, it gets the poison, and then the cat dies. Okay, now after the cat dies, there's no more data stream to send to that cat because the cat's dead now. Okay, so what this means is that I should have said that when the experimenter opens the door, okay, he will find a dead cat or an alive cat. But the cat doesn't have to die the instant the door's opened, or not die. You see, there is no cat is part of the situation. There is no cat. The cat isn't rendered unless somebody's looking at it. But if the cat is conscious, then the cat is looking at the cat. It's licking its paw. It's looking at the inside of the box. So what happens is that the cat dies whenever that 100th of a second delta T happens to find a particle that hits that Geiger counter that sends out the signal that kills the cat, right up until that time. But it may have been 5 minutes later when the experimenter opens the door. Well, now they'll find a cat that's been dead for 5 minutes, you see. So the cat doesn't die when a door is pulled open. The cat dies whenever the cat dies, whenever the particle hits the thing. Now, from that time on, after the cat's dead, then it's just like the paint. It doesn't matter, you see. Now, as long as that cat is in the box, the cat is not in anybody's data stream except the cat's data stream. The cat is in the cat's own data stream. But the experimenter who can't see the cat does not get anything in their data stream. So once the cat dies, then there's no cat data stream at all to the cat or to the people or to any place. So then the cat just doesn't exist. But the cat does exist right up to the point when it dies. And then when the experimenter opens the door, he sees a dead cat with a warm body, if it just died recently, or a dead cat with a cold body because it died some time ago, because it's been a long time since the experimenter opened that door, you see. So I just didn't say it quite right. And Tim pointed that out to me, and he is absolutely correct. We do have to realize that that cat had his own little reality going on there right up until the point that he didn't. So what I was saying was accurate for the paint, but not accurate for the cat, because the cat could die before the person opens the door, not just as that measurement's made, because the cat has consciousness too. So that's the little update that
That is
thing.
really fascinating and very impressive, Tim. This will be added to the bonus content on the MBT Science Trilogy.
Yeah,
Really
good.
interesting. Thank you.
Mhm.